Mars is wibbly-wobbly. A third moon could explain its squish and bulges, scientists say. Could a long-lost moon explain the rather unusual shape of Mars as well as the terrain on the planet's surface? It's an intriguing hypothesis, but put forward in a new paper by astronomer Michael Efremsky from the U.S. Naval Observatory in Washington, D.C. To a greater degree than any other planet in the solar system, Mars has a starkly triaxial shape, an ellipsoid with significant differences in curve along all three of its axes, and in other words, it's squished in ways that have previously puzzled experts. A Martian moon around a third the size of our own could explain the anomaly. Mars' current satellites Phobos and Deimos may even be the shattered remains of this object, following destruction during the cataclysmic period known as the Late Heavy Bombardment some 4 billion years ago. We christened the hypothetical moon Nerio after a war goddess who was Mars' partner in ancient cult practices, later to be supplanted by deities adapted from other religions, writes Efremsky. And as per Efremsky's calculations and modeling, the gravitational pull of the hypothesized mass would be enough to elongate Mars before its shape became fixed, potentially pulling ancient magma oceans to and fro. An initial seed, triaxiality, was created by a massive moon orbiting a young and still plastic Mars on a synchronous orbit, writes Efremsky in his paper, showing the same face on the moon. Mars assumed a shape close but not identical to a triaxial ellipsoid, its longest axis aligned with the moon. The presence of Nerio could also explain some of the topographical features on Mars. Compared to the rest of the solar system, the red planet has the most prominent highlands: Tharsis, the biggest canyon, Valles Marineris, and the joint tallest mountain, Olympus Mons. These bulges could be explained by Nerio, urges Efremsky, and a large moon in the early days of Mars would have also triggered more volcanic activity, potentially leading to some of the notable features we see on the surface of the planet Mars today. After the moon produced the seed triaxially and asymmetry of Mars, the tidally elevated provinces became more than others prone to convection-generating uplifts and tectonic and volcanic activity, Efremsky writes. The lost moon hypothesis still leaves plenty of questions unanswered. There's no evidence of a moon of Nerio size colliding with Mars, for example, but further studies should shed more light on whether or not this moon ever did exist. It may have drifted out of orbit, of course, or been completely destroyed, with the only signs of its brief existence being the misshapen shape of our dusty red neighbor, Mars. The research has been submitted for inclusion in Journal of Geophysical Research Planets and is available on the preprint server AirXRV, and it's on Science Alert by David Neild. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.